Ladies and gentlemen, Defense ReDEFiNED is at the DroneVation and Defense Conference here at Vienna. We are now with Mr. Fabian Ochsner, Strategy Consultant for Air Defense at Edge Group Halcon. Mr. Ochsner, your experience spans both European and Middle Eastern defense markets, giving you a unique perspective on industry trends. Which technology trends are shaping the immediate future of counter-drone and integrated defense solutions?
Yeah, of course. If I look back to a pretty long history in technology in defense. In the beginning, it was the case that defense was driving innovation, technology. Then after the 90s, it broke into the other direction. So now defense is basically trailing and using new technologies, particularly, of course, in communications and so on, that are coming up the stovepipe, so to say, and adopting these technologies for military use. And what we see today is that if something is developed that has a specific function, we can always use it as well in some shape or form for a military technology. Meaning, in hindsight, there's less direct military development rather than adopting technologies for the use on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. So in a nutshell, it's whatever comes along and would have an effect on the battlefield, we'll use it somehow in the military field. That's on one side. On the other side, there is specific requirements that still demand developments for like a warhead. For this missile that we are using here, we develop a specific warhead for a specific function. Of course, this development work still has to be done in the old-fashioned way, but we can use much different ways to get the technology ready to be used in the battlefield. So that's in a nutshell on the technology side.
Thank you very much. How do you see cross-domain integration, linking air, land and maritime systems, shaping defense industry strategy?
It's mainly a question of communication. So the problem in the beginning, where there was no established communication, it was the hardest thing of them all to get sort of a joint operation, to have commands that would be joint, taking care of the other domains, demands and questions and so on. So this is not the case anymore, since we have almost real-time communication, even what's happening in the battlefield. You can see it on YouTube maybe a couple of minutes after it happened. So the information from the battlefield is much denser and much quicker. And that has changed, of course, the way as well how we can integrate within the specific domains. So in the end, the main question is not how we can integrate it better. Due to the communication means it is integrated better. Now it's a question of can we adopt the various capabilities into an overall picture, and this is basically what can be done. So communication has certainly massively helped to get all these various domains together and they work together. The example on the air defense in the older days used to be you were standing on the ground of the land forces. Basically you were standing in their way, but you were fighting in the third domain, in the air. And this communication was very complicated and not easy to handle. With today's way we communicate, generally, this has been overcome. So it's a matter of communication, and then you can see how you can bring in your capability as best for the overall success of your organization.
Interesting. So communication is the key.
Regarding it was always the main matter. It was a human communication in the beginning, and now it's communication. It's information that's available that can be used as communication if you are doing the analysis of what's happening and how your functionality or what you have to offer in the overall picture, how that fits in best, and how you're not disturbing the other guys around you. So the overall result is definitely much better, and that is important.
Ochsner, with Cyprus expanding its defense ties, where could separate firms potentially connect into Edge's wider network of partnerships?
Yeah, there's obviously ample opportunities to do so. We are talking here about a product that is going to come sometimes down the road. It's a development program. But if there is interest on the Cyprus side, which has a very rich and good history in air defense, using the 35mm systems from Halcon, there is a hookup point to do something similar like the Austrians are doing. They had the same guns still in action. They have now modernized those guns to the latest configuration and have both new radars, new command posts, and they can integrate that. In Cyprus, for all intents and purposes, the same thing could be done, bringing you up on this sort of defense to state of the art, and then add on in a stage when this missile Skyknight comes along, add it in, because it is the prerequisite on the system side to get the missile, a capability like that, into action on the battlefield. And obviously, this is always within local industry, local capabilities, teamwork. So there's ample opportunities to hook that in. So the possibility is given that Edge can foster or maintain this project from the very beginning, and the end would then be an integration of such a missile. And this would boost dramatically the air defense capabilities, and not only drone defense, but the air defense capabilities in the domain of critical asset protection. The main aim here is critical asset protection, and these systems can do exactly that. And you layer that with your outer layers, but if it comes to the asset you are defending, then that's what you basically would need. And obviously, cooperation is always part of the game.
Thank you, Mr. Ochsner, for your insights. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.